I'll tell you what a brilliant day this is. It's a Monday, and I'm looking at our second interview of the day. This is going to be a nice little quick shot with Graham Bonnet, and as you can see, special guest bassist Beth-Ami Heavenstone. So it's going to be great.
Can you dig it?
All right. Well, then let's get ourselves started. Here we go. Well, hello, both of you.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Do I need lipstick or anything? Do I?
Yes.
You did that, yeah. Oh, you do, yeah.
Should I get black lipstick? Maybe that's a song that we do in my band. We do black lipstick. It's a great song.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a great song. I do not wear black lipstick. So anyway, I'm just going to start by saying thank you and hello. And I'm so excited because Graham Bonnet and Beth-Ami are going to be coming to the Wildey Theater in Edwardsville, Illinois on Thursday night. It'll be a great night to celebrate my mom's birthday. She hasn't been with us for about 10 years now. But May 1st is my mom's birthday.
okay.
And it'll be great. It'll be so great to see you guys.
Okay, well, thank you. We're going to see you too, and your mom, I guess.
Yeah,
She'll be there with us.
she'll be watching.
If nothing else, right?
That's right. Yeah, she didn't always understand my rock, but she always promoted music. She was a choir director and she played piano and and she was in theater, so it was great. That's where I get a lot of my performance stuff from her. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I remember her buying a Sticks too because it had toccata and fugue on it, and so that was great.
Oh, that's cool.
But she didn't like my Kiss album. So anyway, but that's that. I'm going to put this up. You can see that you guys have these U.S. tour dates coming up in May, in the beginning of May. We're going to be going from Illinois to Edwardsville to West Dundee, into Indiana, up to Michigan, and into Pennsylvania, then to New Hampshire, Connecticut, and New Jersey. Are any of these? Yes.
It's not Connecticut. It's Massachusetts. New Bedford's in Massachusetts. And I made the poster using AI, and it just would not let me fix it. And I said, all right.
It messed you over.
Connecticut. Yeah. Okay.
Does AI stand for asshole idiot? Is that what it stands for?
Yeah, it did that day.
That did. So are any of these, I'll ask this first off. Am I unaware, or have you ever played the Wildey Theater in Edwardsville?
No.
Okay.
No. It is a really nice place, I think, can't we?
It is a great venue. And even though it's got its size and its theater with a balcony and everything like that.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's still very intimate. It's a great.
Yeah.
You're going to really enjoy it.
Old. I mean, how old is it? Is it like hundreds of years old, or like it was built last week?
Yeah.
It's old.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Is it older than Graham Bonnet?
No, nothing's older than me. Jesus Christ.
That's not true. You wished Richie Blackmore happy birthday. He's older.
Yeah, he's 80. Ha! Yeah, he's winning the competition of racing to the end of the. Yeah. Well, hopefully not very soon, but you know what I mean. It's very odd now to see how old people are. You just can't believe it. You know, it's like what he died and he was only 62. He was a baby or whatever. You know,
Right.
It's so weird to look at yourself and go, I'm old too, and you because you don't feel it.
No,
you don't live it. You know, that's how I feel. I think Bethany is the same way.
I'm exhausted.
She's exhausted.
she's exhausted. Oh, I'm so exhausted. I can believe it. So as far as any of the other venues, have you been to any of these other venues before where you're going?
What's that? What is that?
Have we been to any of the other venues where we're going?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think we have, have we? They all sound
I don't
pretty
think
to me.
so.
Okay.
Wait, I'm thinking.
Uh,
No. Token Lounge. Yes, we
Token.
have. We've played
Yeah, I'm
Token
going to say
like
it begins
3
with
times.
T. Yeah, we've been
Yeah.
there before. Yeah.
That's good. Awesome.
Yeah.
you said you're going to be covering the set list still covers the different bands that you've been in over the years, right? Plus your solo stuff.
A bit of everything,
Yeah, almost everything.
Right from Rainbow forward, Rainbow, Michael Stranker, Alcatraz,
Your
and of
solo
course,
stuff.
huh?
Your solo stuff.
Oh, it's on my solo gear, yeah, and also obviously the Graham Bonnet Band, a couple of things from the new albums.
Thank you. I love those. I don't know that I had a chance to say this, but I was saying that I need to apologize for not listening to those sooner. I love those records. Your new records.
Oh, great. Do you like the last one, Day Out of Nowhere, is my favorite. Well, I mean, I think we did a great, we're really concentrated on that, making that really sound better than the other two in a way,
Yeah.
And it sounds great. The sound on that album is really fantastic, I think, and I think the songs are pretty cool too,
Right.
I'm glad you heard them.
Yeah. It's really good when you when you get to marry a great sound of production with great songs, and then you're just that's what it's really all about. You marry those two things and you really got something great, which, like I say, those albums are fantastic. If you haven't heard those, folks, make sure you get out there and you check those out, because they're great. I mean, that's really all I could say more and more, but it all sound the same.
I loved the first album so much, but I feel like Conrad's production skills have improved exponentially. So, those songs were great, but the production isn't nearly as good as what he just did on Day Out of Nowhere.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, he's working very well. We work really good together, me and him, on the vocal sound, et cetera, et cetera. We really watch every note and every nuance and the arrangement. Is it too much? Is it too long? Is it too, you know what I mean? We really look into the song itself and make sure it sounds good, because I'm always changing words every 5 seconds, saying, oh, that word doesn't sound right, does it? Even though it's a good word, it has too many syllables or something. And when you sing it, it doesn't sound the same as when you read it, because when you read it, there's no note in your head. So it's like, oh, bloody hell. And Conrad's the same. He said, I think we need another bit of something here in the middle and blah, blah, blah. And I like when that happens because it's not boring. Well, I don't think, I think that makes the song more interesting. If it goes to a place where you're not expecting something to happen, Am I right, Beth-Ami?
Yes, indeed.
I am very right.
I think it's always a tough thing. You hear something on a record and you're like, really? You couldn't have put a few more syllables in there? You know what I'm saying? It just seems a little empty or drawn out.
Yeah.
And you're like, really? That's where you went? Okay. And you wish there would have been somebody around telling them that.
Yeah.
Well, what's curious to me is in that Schenker song and Desert Song, when there's just that empty space for the longest time. But I think it actually does say something, in its quietness or its emptiness. It really, I don't know. It doesn't, I think it's like power. It's not silence, but it's powerful in its, simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gives you time to, I'm telling the story in that song, the Desert Song, and I think it gives you time to think about, oh, I see. but there is nothing. It's just like ding, 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 ding. It's like the chords are going, then suddenly there's an accent. Bam, ding, ding, ding. It's interesting, even though there's nothing happening. I remember when we'd finished that, I thought, well, Michael, I should have really done some kind of vocal here, shouldn't I? And he said, no, leave it as it is. It's weird,
Yeah.
Michael would know.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a good idea. And when that happens, the audience are kind of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they get into it because there's nothing there except for the band chugging along,
Right.
No singing. So, it gives me a break.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of back when I saw Maiden live for Power Slave, and they played Rime of the Ancient Mariner.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's that spot. And you could just see Steve was up there like, just hang with me, people. Just keep it down.
Exactly.
but it was so gorgeous that
Yeah.
everybody who knew the song we just wrote it out and we loved it. It was so.
That's it. That's exactly because that comes back in with a bad, bad. It goes suddenly back into we're here, you know. So,
but I do know exactly what you're talking about with Desert. So I've heard that song in the past. In the past year, I've heard that song so many times because I have it in a playlist that I keep playing, and I know exactly what you're talking. I love that part. It's that power that you're just waiting on it. Here it comes. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic. I do have to ask this just because we didn't mention it, but did you say are you doing any impellitteri?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, my son was yelling something.
Oh, that's okay. Are you doing any impellitteri on the list?
One second.
Okay,
That's
so
okay.
Are we doing any impellitteri?
Yes.
Well, okay. I'm just going to explain really quickly. So the set that we're playing, we've been playing it as is for quite a while, and this is it winding down. You know, this is the last chance you have to see this. So there is no impellitteri on this, but
there will be.
You know, we start. You know, when we get back, actually, we're playing impellitteri at a festival in July, but I think it's going to be in the set after that for quite a while. But we're doing a very Schenker heavy set starting in the fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I know we kind of talked about that just a skosh.
Okay. And then after that, yes, we're going to go Alcatraz.
We're going to do like 2 songs of impellitteri, I think. There are 2 songs that really kind of stick out.
Well, there's one you have to do, so I think you can do the 2 we like. So, you have to do Stand in Line.
Yeah. Or maybe 3.
Right.
Yeah, exactly 3.
Okay, yeah.
We love Tonight I Fly and Good Night and Goodbye.
Good Night and Goodbye is one of my favorites.
Me too. So much fun to play.
Absolutely huge favorites of mine. Those are great.
Thank you. Good.
I just have a couple more. As far as the Marco Mendoza's, the band is with you on this run as well, right?
Not the entire run. Unfortunately, he had some gigs already booked from last year in Switzerland. I think he's got to go to first. So directly after the Sellersville show, he's off to Europe, and we will miss him because he is such a great guy.
Oh man.
Yes.
And what a player. Can you imagine what it's like to have to go on after that as a bass player? Oh my God.
Yeah, he's something else. He really is.
He can play every genre and he plays it all with perfect feel. You know, he's just a machine. He's so good. He freaks me out.
Yeah, he is. Apart from that, he's a really humble guy and really easy to get on with.
Yeah.
He's such a nice person. I sort of liked him from the get-go. You know?
And he's funny, and the 2 of them together are very funny.
Yes, we have a comedy thing going, and we have a magic act. No, I know what to improve on the magic act, I think, but the comedy's going very well.
Little vaudeville next. It'll be great. That'll be awesome. Now, but he will be here in Edwardsville with you guys.
Absolutely.
Cool. Well, maybe I could say hello to him. I'd love to talk to him because
we can arrange.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he is quite just a warrior in the industry of working with so many people. Is there anybody else in his band that we would know? I'm not familiar with.
What?
Who else is in his band?
What are you going to say? I'll go and take it.
The truth? It's our band.
Oh.
So, yeah, he and Con have played together off and on for years.
Yeah, okay.
And since Francis is already with us, you know, it just made sense.
Yeah.
You know, to do that. And,
That's awesome.
Surprise.
Oh, no.
You know, it's all out now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, then I just wanted to make sure that we got this covered. So everybody who hasn't gotten a ticket yet for May 1st for the Wildey Theater in Edwardsville, make sure you get out there and do that. This is going to be a legendary show. I know these guys they're all over it. You guys do a great job, and the music is fantastic. You just can't shirk that, you know.
Thanks for the compliment. We need to do more of that.
We love it. We do. We love it. it's what keeps us alive. I mean, I can tell, like, after a show, I can tell how he's feeling, and it makes us happy if we've made someone else happy, and you can tell when an audience likes you. So
Yeah.
come on down.
Yeah, when you see the people
you.
in the audience singing the words to the verses of songs instead of just the chorus, the sing-along bit,
Yeah.
I'm going, how do you know those damn words so well?
Yeah.
Especially off our new albums.
Yeah.
They're singing the verse. I'm going, they know all the breaks and the whatever. And it makes me so happy because you think about the hours and days you took after just to write one freaking song, and then it's all over in 3 minutes. You go, what?
Right.
Only 3 minutes long, but it took you like 4 weeks to write it.
Yeah.
I remember, who was it? Oh, yeah, Brian Wilson. He was saying that God Only Knows took 6 months to write and then about 2 years to record because it was so complicated and intricate. Everything was just so perfect, the way all the parts fitted together. And he's one of my heroes. I love the way he writes songs. It's just fantastic. Yeah. And, I try to sort of in a way follow his, emulate him in a way by telling a story in songs, and have a composition that sort of drifts off in another way, another direction when you don't expect it to happen, So we'll see what happens in this one, because I think that is more in our minds right now, is to do something that has surprising parts in the songs. Otherwise, it's just another rock album. And I don't know if we're rock heavy or what. I don't know what we are. People say to me sometimes about certain tracks on the album, which, Day Out in Nowhere, that it's sort of progressive. And I'm not sure what that is. What is progressive? I don't know.
I got to thinking about that. I was just thinking about that yesterday when I was listening. Oh, man. Because it happens in songs that you don't think about. And then one day you hear it and you're like, wow, that's interesting. It's kind of progressive because to me, it's just something, if it's got 2 or 3 distinct parts, or something like Desert Song, where it's got a little something that happens that you're not normally going to put into a song.
No,
because it's not going to be catchy and it's going to get edited on the radio.
Yeah.
If it's something like that and it's got a couple of different movements, you're like, okay, this is a little, and I'll see if I can come up with it before Thursday, if I can remember what that song was. But I just was like, wow, this is a little more progressive than I remember.
On the last album we did, was it Day Out in Nowhere on that album?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not David's mum, is it? That
maybe
song?
Sky is Alive.
Sky is Alive, maybe. David's mum is sort of.
Well, David's mom is just odd. It's almost jazzy in a way. But what's really funny, and I don't know if you recognize this in all these studio albums that we've just done, but Graham put something saucy on every album, except David's Mom, where he put 3 saucy songs. I mean, Day Out of Nowhere, there's 3 saucy songs, because Brave New World is definitely. What's he talking about there? Uncle John is about a pedophile, and then David's Mom is about his personal sexual awakening as a little kid, like the first time you get that feeling, and it's funny because we invited David to a show and it was hilarious. What did you say in the mic?
I can't remember.
He said something saucy, of course.
David's a motorcycle rider and racer, and he's not nothing like me at all. He was my friend when I was a little kid. We grew up together. I must have till I was about 7 years old. Then we moved away to another area in my hometown. But I had to tell him, I had to say, I don't know how you're going to take this song because it's about your mum. And I said, I remember. I tell the story of the thing. I remember going to David's house, knocking on the door and saying, should we go uptown, David? Should we go to the shops, so to speak? Mm-hmm. And his mom heard us say this, and she said, well, I'm going up there too. Hold on a minute. And so she said, just take, she said, told me to sit down, and I sat down. And she came into the room, and I'll never forget this. She has dark, short black hair, this tight black dress on. I will never forget this. I was 7, I believe, something like that. and over her chair were hanging some silk stockings. And she picks them up and she puts them on in front of me. And I'm going, I was like, and she was talking to me as she's doing it. You know, I didn't know what to say.
No,
I couldn't take my eyes off it. I couldn't turn away.
He still do that.
Yeah. Hey?
You still do that.
He loves
What?
that kind of gear.
Oh yeah, I
He
mean, to
loves
this
it.
day, there are lots of people, yeah, grown-up men who have that thing
Oh, yeah.
about it, you know, that kind of attire, so to speak. But to have that happen in front of me and not realize what was happening to my body at that time, I had no clue why I was feeling so strange. But I'll never forget it. And she only died a couple of years ago, David's mom. She was about 80 something, but she was a lovely personality apart from being a naughty woman. And she was great. She was great. And she always made food for us when we played together and took photographs of us, etc., etc. And David's mom. And somebody said to me, that track is very progressive. You know, I said, is it? You know, I didn't look at it like that. I just thought it being just a good, fun song with, you know, a jazzy kind of a riff.
Jazzy.
Yeah.
Right?
It's jazzy and
It's jazz. Yeah, it's jazzy, sort of.
Well, you know what I'm going to be listening to tonight now. So
what makes sense?
he's going to listen to David's mom tonight.
Oh, you got to. The story that what I just told you is in the song.
Yeah.
I tell the story about me going over to his house, blah, 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 and what happened when his mom came into the room and said, wait a minute, boys, I'll get ready, kind of thing. She said, I'll drive you.
Yeah. And as I always hearken back to, it just goes along to say that women are the only true works of art. That's
Exactly. Which you can see right here. You know,
I mean,
when I first saw a photograph of Beth-Ami, I did. It was moving, and so we had to get together because I was, you know.
well, let me tell you how it really went down. So he reached out to me on LinkedIn, and he was talking about looking for new bands, and I didn't know much about him, but I knew, you know, that he'd been in Rainbow, and I thought, oh well, maybe he's producing now. So I sent him links to my 2 bands, and we had a few back and forth conversations about music, and then we discovered we both had special needs kids, and that brought us closer. And that's when I actually physically went and met him. We went out for a coffee, and then I invited him to sit in on a show at the Whiskey I was doing with my all-girl band that Conrad was actually in. I've been playing with the same girl singer for 30 years, and he came in and did "Oh Darling" by the Beatles and "No Matter What" by Badfinger with us. And when we got off stage that night, he said, I want to be in a band with you. That was so fun. So that's how all this came about. But we were actually working together for about a year before we fell in love. And
we were. Sorry, yes, we were. I'm just thinking. Yeah.
No, it was great. It was a really fun time in life, especially at our age, to be finding that, you know, second wind that way.
Yeah.
Right.
It was beautiful. You know,
It was so nice not to be playing Alcatraz music. That's what it was. It was like, I've got to break from that bloody shit. You know what I mean? Because after a while, you get really pissed off with every fucking song you write, you know?
Yeah.
To go up there and sing Paul McCartney's "Oh Darling" was one of my favorite songs off the Beatles album, obviously. Yeah. And that Badfinger tune, you know, no matter what you are.
Oh, man, yeah.
Because I remember playing with those guys when they were called the Ivies in Nottingham in England. And we were on the same bill together, and they were the headliner kind of thing with my little band from my hometown of Skegness. And I remember watching them playing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Man.
And I said to my drummer, I said, we play it better than that, don't we? And he said, yeah, we do. I love that. You know,
yes.
Like, picture yourself. The notes go with the melody of the song. You know, it's like a counter melody in a way.
It's almost like 3/4 time too.
Yeah, it is 3/4. Yeah, and you know, I was proud of myself that I could play that and sing it at the same time. Very much. But you know, I love the Beatles, and who doesn't? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I do run. Well, I don't need to say unfortunately. However, I do run into people who don't,
Yeah.
and you're just like, okay,
They're
you don't
serial.
know what reason, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it was a cool thing. I've always said that about when I started playing and I learned that I could play and sing at the same time. I was very excited about that.
Wait, you can play what? What is that?
Sing and play at the same time.
Oh yeah. That's always. I mean, I was playing since my cousin Trevor Gordon when he came over from Australia to England. He taught me when I was about 11. He taught me how to play chords. We had 3 chords. It was C, F, and then X, which was actually D7. We didn't have a name for it. Trevor said, "Oh, we'll call that X." All right. Then. I remember doing that and playing, C on the lower position, and then playing X. Like, oh yeah. And the thing back then was, later on, as I started to play properly or better, I think, the thing was with other guitar players, I only knew one in my hometown because there weren't any. It was just me and a guy down the road, and somebody who had a kit, drum kit.
Yeah.
If you could play B7th, that was you were happening. You use all your fingers and the chord is all, it's a hard chord if you play it down, the low position.
Yeah.
And I read something by the Beatles, and I think Paul McCartney said, was one day we said, "Oh, we've got to get him in the band. He can play B7." Which is absolutely true. If you can do a B7th, you can do anything. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sort of going on about that a bit. But,
no, that's fantastic. It's kind of like when you're because I just said this earlier on the show with Muddy Brook too. If you're a bass player and you can sing, that's a lot of times for bands that's a big plus. So yes, young lady like you.
Syncopated, and my right hand starts, following my voice or whatever. But I don't think it's particularly that hard to.
Yeah.
No, it depends on the song.
I mean, if I have to sound good, that's completely different. But just kidding.
I couldn't, when I was asked to join a couple of bands like years ago, back in 1969 or something, and both of these bands asked me to play bass and sing, and I turned it down because I said I don't think I can do that. I can play guitar, but if I play bass, it's sort of, I don't know. It's like trying to play. I can't play drums. It's splitting, your brain. You've got to split your brain down the middle somewhere. Don't even think about what you're playing. Like when you're playing a guitar, I don't think about what I'm doing at all. It just comes naturally. But bass is notes. It's what I mean. It's like an arrangement underneath the guitar parts or something. And I couldn't do it. So but I played sessions.
Tell them who it was.
Eh?
Tell them who it was.
It was ELO. Was the band. And Wizard. I went to meet Jeff Lynne and Roy Wood. Roy Wood had the band Wizard. Jeff Lynne had UFO. And they invited me along to the Phillips.
ELO.
Wait a minute.
You said UFO.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
ELO. I said ELO, didn't I? I didn't say UFO.
No, you said, didn't he say it?
He did say UFO. I'll edit that part out. And then
ELO. Hello. Yeah, it was. It
3
was
letters.
O.
Yeah.
And it was a Philips studio just outside of Hyde Park in London. And I remember going in there, and they said, "Hi, guys, it's really nice to meet you. We really like your voice." Blah blah blah. And I said, "Yeah, what's happening? We want you to listen to this music." And Jeff put on this stuff, and I'm going, I'm thinking, what the hell is this? Because like strings and all this stuff going on. I never heard anything like it. And I said, "Wow, that's amazing. What do you want me to do?" Because I thought it was like finished compositions. It sounded so amazing. Yeah. And he said, "Well, what we want you to do, Graham, we'd like you to sing lead and play guitar." And I went, "Oh." Play bass. Sorry, play bass. I said, "I can play guitar, but I can't play bass and sing."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, are you sure?" I said, "I'm sure you would have to have a bit of practice." But what happened was I went back to my girlfriend. I said, "I've been asked to join this band called ELO." And she said, "Oh, I don't want you to do that. That means you'll be going on the road and lots of girls after you." I was only 20, whatever I was at the time. But you know, and ELO became. I heard all those songs that Jeff Lynne did on their very first album, you know, or in its raw state, and it was just incredible. You know, I was very fortunate to hear that. You know, and I sort of wish I'd done it, but I don't know what would have happened. I would never have been in Rainbow. I know that.
You never know.
But you never know.
Right. I mean, just to have experienced that and been in the fold. I mean, that's a part of your life still, obviously. So a lot of times, you know, everything happens for a reason. And, you know.
Yeah, I think you're right, you know. And yes, it was wrong for me to say, let me join this band and make a fool of myself. You know, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to, you know, play bass and sing. I really wasn't ready for that, you know. And he said, Jeff or Roy said something like, well, we're going to be between Wizard and ELO, we're going to be changing members. One night, the bass player will play guitar. Another night, somebody will play, you know, they were doing that, trading musicians from both bands. So they could keep the momentum going with both bands and make a lot of fucking money. That was the idea. And I said, oh. But anyway, I turned it down anyway. And it was, whatever. It was the right thing to do because I ended up playing in one of the greatest bands in the freaking world, for Christ's sake.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Well, then I'll let you guys get rolling because I know you got other things happening.
Okay.
And I appreciate you guys, you know, taking a little time with me. And then, of course, I cannot wait to see you guys in a few days. Yeah.
Well, we'll see you and we'll see you there, and we'll say hello. You know, shake your hand and smack you around the face or whatever. You know. You can tell that we're a very serious, deep.
Deep.
It's all that heavy metal music, mate. Yeah, we're very deep, and etc. So
Oh shoot. Well, then I'm glad everything is well, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Anything else you want to say before I let you go to all the fans out there?
Come see us. Come often. Come daily. Oh, let me stop.
What?
We're going to be talking about Dave's mom again anytime.
I'm sorry. You know, it's, you know, for my close association with Graham, it's rubbed off on me. I'm a little saucy myself now, but no, seriously though, if you're anywhere near us, I promise you a great show. Come and see us. And we're playing naked. I'm kidding.
No, I am.
Graham is.
Yeah, just me.
Graham's a nudist, you know, he's not shy.
I am a nudist.
You do realize
honestly, it's going to be good.
You've given him a whole new idea for a song now. He'll write a song called Naked. That way you can say we're playing naked every night.
I love that. Oh my God.
Naked every night. Yeah.
That's why I'm here. Inspiration. That's it.
Well, I'm really looking forward to actually meeting you in the flesh. So that's cool.
Absolutely. So, all right, guys. Well, have a great evening. Everybody else out there, be sure and check out these dates and make sure you get your tickets ahead of time and be ready for a kick-ass rock show like I'm getting ready for on Thursday night.
Okay, thank you.
So, all right.
See you
guys have a good one. Cheers. Take it easy.
Absolutely.
Bye. Okay.